I am speaking to you now because the moment just touched your name like a seal pressed into warm wax, and the imprint is still shining. Do not skip this. I saw your hands, a little hesitant, hovering above what you cannot see clearly yet, and I breathed courage into your fingers. This is about your bank account, yes, but it is more than numbers, more than a screen and a balance and a statement in a mailbox. It is about what those numbers mean inside you, fear that once ruled, hunger that learned to whisper like a friend, the long years when disappointment signed your checks and scarcity kept the ledger. I say to you, chosen one, I have moved in a way you did not expect, and a massive transaction just happened in your name. You have asked me for proof I am not silent. I answer in a language you can read in the quiet of your room and on the face of your day. Do not think small. Do not shrink your eyes. I am not trying to trick you, I am trying to free you. There is an account with your name, but the branch was never on your street. It was kept in a vault you could not enter by works or by worry. You thought wealth means control, yet I teach you that true wealth means trust. I watched you counting coins of yesterday's approval. I watched you save receipt after receipt of promises that other people wrote and never fulfilled. But now I have written something that cannot be voided. I have transferred to you what you could not earn, a line that reads, mercy, a line that reads, favor, a line that reads, door opens, a line that reads, debts canceled, a line that reads, time redeemed, a line that reads, more than enough. Yes, you will see movement in the earth realm, because I am not a poet of mist. I am the Lord who plants gardens in deserts and then sends you the deed. There will be signs, and they will not argue with you. Transactions on earth follow decrees in heaven, and I have signed one for you. For too long, you had a relationship with lack like it was family, and it taught you to anticipate the worst even while you prayed for the best. Today I break that pact. I am not asking you to pretend that the past did not ache. Your honesty draws me. I never despised your tears. But I am asking you to update your inner address to where I am sending your provision. You moved before with a suitcase of survival. Now I give you keys of stewardship. The massive transaction is not a random windfall. It is a covenant movement, timed, traced, witnessed, and irreversible. You will hear whispers around you that say, "This cannot be real," or, "It will vanish like morning fog." Rebuke them gently and firmly. Tell them the sender verified it himself. Tell them I am not an algorithm that glitches. I am the Ancient of Days who never misposts. Tell them I am not momentum, I am source. I saw the night you asked me, will I always live like this, and pretended to be fine when your chest, like a locked drawer, rattled with unpaid hopes. I did not forget. I counted the exact number of sighs you exhaled when the numbers did not add up, and I turned each sigh into a seed. Today some of those seeds break surface. You will notice convergences that look coincidental, the right voice calling at the right time, an overdue release approved without fanfare, a closed case reopened, a past labor suddenly remembered and honored, an application pulled from the bottom of the pile and placed at the top. Do not resist the kindness because you are used to the chase. Let favor find you without running from it. Your name is no longer the echo of scarcity, your name is the address of abundance. You have been trained to brace for impact, now I train you to brace for increase. Increase is not a storm, it does not destroy, it reorders. You will feel the first movements like furniture sliding into its correct place. The room you live in on the inside will look different, wider, clearer. The light will be less interrupted. You will find a receipt on your heart that reads, "Paid in full," and you will realize it is not you who paid it. Your old calculations were based on subtraction, mine are written with multiplication. When I multiply, I do not ask your fear for permission. I only ask your yes. This is not a message to make your hands twitch with impatience, it is a message to steady your hands with purpose. You have been faithful with little in ways nobody saw, you made meals out of crumbs and gave thanks like it was a feast. I did not overlook that. When others laughed at your limits, you used them like ladders, one rung at a time. Now I am sending more, not to drown you, but to teach you to swim in waters that heal. The massive transaction is the opening chord, there are movements yet to play. I am the composer, you are not late for the performance. Sit in the seat I reserved. Put away the small cup. Bring the jars you hid. Borrow vessels if you must. Provision is a conversation, and I am answering with verbs. There is strategy attached to this blessing. Do not call everything miracle and forget to walk. Miracles are doors, stewardship is the hallway. I will show you which invoices are yours to settle first, you will feel a peace when you choose correctly. I will show you the subscriptions of worry you no longer need, the right closures that free capacity, the giving that unlocks new flow, the investments that line up with your assignment. Do not follow the noise of those who worship money and offer it your soul. Money is not your master, it is your messenger. Tell it where to go. Tell it to build what I've shown you in dreams. Tell it to honor what honors me. Tell it to feed the hungry part of your calling. Tell it to clothe the vision that has been cold too long. You are not a beggar at the gate of abundance, you are a builder with the blueprint I placed in your spirit. I am healing the trauma of transactions that once betrayed you. The memory of being used, of being unpaid, of being tricked by fine print, that memory will no longer run your decisions. I replace suspicion with discernment. You will read agreements and see the spirits behind them, not just the sentences within them. You will sense the yes that carries my breath and the no that carries my mercy. Some offers will look golden and feel heavy, let them pass. Some doors will look small and feel like sunrise, walk through. The wealth of this moment is not only currency, it is clarity. The transaction I made in your name purchased time, time to think without panic, time to plan without fear, time to listen without the clock banging in your ear. Use this time like a first harvest, celebrate, yes, and also store. You feared that your worth was tied to how hard you suffer. It is not. You feared that joy would make you careless. It will not. Joy will make you accurate. Joy sharpens your hearing. Joy keeps your hands from shaking while you sign what I place in front of you. Laugh in the office where you once cried. Smile at the counter where you once pleaded. Your countenance will prophesy before your mouth does. People will ask what changed about you. Answer plainly, God settled a matter in my name. They will ask for proof. Show them peace. Show them the projects you begin and finish. Show them generosity that does not announce itself. Show them the dignity that returns to your posture when shame goes unpaid and leaves. I am turning your almosts into already. The delay that taught you patience will not be your permanent teacher. You did not fail. You were being prepared in rooms where you thought you were being ignored. The ledger of heaven recorded your integrity and your refusals, those moments you could have cut a corner and didn't, the moments you could have sold your voice and kept it instead. Integrity accrues interest that the earth must pay. Watch how doors open that your resume did not knock upon. Watch how back pay appears for labors that were done in secret. Watch how your name travels to tables where you were never introduced. Do not be shocked, be grateful. Gratitude is the language of those who have seen God in the details. I have also assigned angels to defend this deposit. You worried about devourers. I have set watchmen. When the thought comes to sabotage yourself, spending to numb, hoarding from fear, giving to impress, pause and breathe my name. Ask, and I will anchor you. I am not giving you a flood to wash you away. I am giving you a river to carry you home. Rivers have banks, they are boundaries, and they are blessings. I will teach you to budget without the bruise of shame, to plan without the phantom of failure, to dream without the debt of doubt. You will remember this instruction as clearly as you remember the breakthrough. Learn the flow, honor the banks, keep the river clean. I am also reconciling your identity with this increase. You have called yourself the one who barely makes it, the one who always pays last, the one who is overlooked. Tear those labels from your spirit, they were never issued by me. I call you supplied, sent, established, trusted. When you introduce yourself to tomorrow, use my names for you. You are not stealing anyone's place. You are standing in the place I carved with my hand. Your abundance does not impoverish another. My storehouses are not a pie to be divided, they are a sky that keeps expanding. Bless others freely, you cannot empty what I keep refilling. Do not despise small confirmations. The first sign may be as simple as a letter finally arriving, a credit corrected, a fee reversed, a balance updated, a gift unexpected, a yes where there used to be silence. These are not crumbs, they are compass points. Follow them without panic. As you move, I will widen the road under your feet. The massive transaction has posted, now the statements will begin to echo it. Expect the echo. Celebrate the echo. Speak to the echo like a friend, I knew you were coming. In your speech there is alignment, in your alignment there is acceleration. There will be voices that remind you of old vows you made while hurting, vows like, I'll never ask for help, I'll never trust again, I'll always be on my own. Those vows have expired. Let them go. Replace them with my promises, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Let that be written across your inner ledger in ink that does not fade. When you feel the urge to prove that you deserve this, remember, you were loved before you were funded. This is not a prize for performance, it is provision for purpose. Purpose will always have what it needs. Stay with purpose. If a door pulls you away from why I made you, it is not a door, just a noisy window. Close it gently and keep walking. I am not only changing your numbers, I am changing your narrative. When people tell the story of you, they will say, something turned, and they will not be wrong. They will not know that it was my hand on the dial, but you will. You will mark this day as the day your fears lost their job. You will mark it as the day you began to think in terms of legacy, not survival. Legacy is not a statue, it is a stream. It moves through the lives you touch, the dreams you dignify, the burdens you lift, the children you bless, the elders you honor, the hidden you notice, the voices you fund, the justice you underwrite. You will love to be generous because you will feel me in the giving. Now, breathe. Put your hand over your heart and let it learn a new rhythm. Say aloud, even if it trembles, God has posted something in my name. Say it again until your mouth stops arguing with your miracle. You are not stealing hope from anyone by believing, you are opening a window so others can breathe, too. I will place testimonies in your path like mile markers, gather them. Do not hoard them, share them with wisdom. When you encounter someone who is where you were, eyes tired, papers stacked, spirit thin, do for them what I am doing for you, speak life and, where I nudge, sow life. The account I filled in your name is not a museum, it is a mission supply. To the anxieties that still try to ghost through your thoughts at night, I send peace as a guard. Peace will stand at the gate and ask for identification, worry will not pass. Rest is not laziness, rest is royalty. Sit where I seat you. Eat what I place before you. Work with joy, not with dread. There will be days of new responsibility. There will also be days of spacious quiet where you will realize you are no longer sprinting after relief but walking with revelation. In that quiet, I will whisper new blueprints, ideas that generate value with dignity, collaborations that don't cost your soul, creative streams that match your design. You will see how the transaction in your name was never only about money, it was about alignment, timing, and witness. I wanted a testimony with your accent, a miracle with your fingerprints, a story that sounds like you laughing for the first time in a long while without looking over your shoulder. Child, I am not finished. This announcement is not the end of your need to trust, it is the start of your joy in trusting. Keep my words in your mouth the way you keep a card in your wallet. Carry them with intention. When you wake, say, provision follows purpose. When you plan, say, I spend in line with destiny. When you give, say, I partner with heaven. When you resist temptation to waste or rush, say, I honor the river and the banks. When you face a new bill, a new project, a new door, say, my God has already moved in my name. And when you lie down at night, say, it is still posted. I have called your spirit to attention because this is your time to receive without suspicion and to walk without wobble. Do not skip this. Your future asked me to make sure you were here to hear it. I watched you in secret and promised myself that when the hour came I would not whisper, I would proclaim. I proclaim it now, the massive transaction is recorded in your name. The angels have witnessed the entry. The seals are unbroken. The funds for your assignment are released. The fear that stalked your steps is dismissed. The harvest that mirrors your hidden faith is visible. The doors that carry your next season are unlocking. Stand with me inside this announcement and let it become your normal. What I begin I finish. What I fund I expand. What I bless I protect. Walk forward, favored one, your account is not empty. Your name is not small. Your future is not postponed. I am with you, and I am not counting against you, I am counting you in. I am speaking to you now because I have seen the weight on your chest and the whisper that has been circling your mind like a restless bird that cannot land, and I do not want you to live one more minute carrying fear that does not belong to you. Listen to me closely. This message is for you, and I am not late. I am always on time, even when time feels like a locked door. I am opening a door before you that will make sense of the hours you called wasted and the days you called lost. What you thought was delay was formation. What you thought was silence was the sound of roots pushing deep, beyond the noise. I am the one who sees the ledger of your life, not just of money but of mercy, not just of currency but of courage, not just of balance but of blessing. I do not lose track. I do not misplace. I do not miscount. I number and I name and I nurture, and I am telling you now that something has moved in your favor, something with weight, something with proof, something that touches the sphere of your provision and also the quiet place where your hope lives. A massive transaction has been recorded with your name, and it did not pass through the hands of chance, it passed through my hands. Do not be afraid of the size of what I am doing. Do not shrink back because it looks larger than your history. Your history is not your ceiling, it is your testimony, and I am writing a new line in it today. I know the account that has been troubling you, the practical one and the invisible one. You have asked me in private if I see the numbers that the world says define your stability. You have looked at the balance and said, God, is it enough? Hear me, what I bring is not a trickle, not a drop from the edge of someone else's table, not the leftover of a ledger that never sees your name. What I bring is measured by my abundance, and I am not a debtor to any system created by men. I am not constrained by the time when payments are due, by the lanes of transfer, or by the seals men place on documents to feel safe. I am the one who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food, and I have watched you when you sowed without applause, when you gave while nobody noticed, when you showed up faithful on days that felt empty. I have looked at the secret arithmetic of your heart, the choices you made when no one was counting, and I have tallied them in a book that men cannot edit. This is why I can say to you without hesitation, a massive transaction has happened in your name. It is not accidental. It is not the product of another's signature. It is the result of my decree that abundance belongs to you because I have assigned it, not because anyone else has allowed it. You are going to hear news that makes your body pause, and when that pause comes, I want you to breathe and remember my voice here. You will see a figure or a confirmation and the mind will reach for fear because fear has been a familiar room for you, but I want you to stand at the threshold of that room and turn the handle the other way. I want you to step into trust. Trust is not a soft wish, trust is a door with hinges built from what I have already done. Think of the time you almost missed the opportunity and yet it circled back. Think of the day you had nothing left to give and yet strength rose out of nowhere. Think of the month you thought would break you and yet it broke open a new path. These are the receipts of my faithfulness, and I am laying another on top of them now. A transaction has moved, your name is on it, its source is me. I do not steal, I restore. I do not manipulate, I manifest. I do not gamble, I govern. Let this settle you. Let this steady your breathing. Let this quiet the old stories that say your name is always last, your portion always thin, your table always temporary. Those stories are lies that learn to speak confidently, but they will not speak over this. There has been a long reach against you, a network of small drains disguised as normal, a slow leakage that made you believe survival was wisdom. But I have not called you to survival, I have called you to stewardship and overflow. Stewardship is not fear, it is focus. Stewardship is watching over what I place in your hands with the same reverence I used to place it there, not hoarding out of panic, not scattering out of insecurity, but aligning with intention. Overflow is not noise, it is quiet power. It is water finding every root that needs it and still having more. You have feared that more would make you lose yourself. But you will not lose yourself by receiving what I wrote in your story, you lose yourself by refusing it. You have been brave in small places, now be brave in the wide one. The transfer has your name. The blessing has your measure. The purpose has your imprint. If you try to refuse the size of it, you will be stepping away from a door I carved with your exact dimensions. I do not place you in rooms that shrink you. I place you where your true stature is required. You have asked me, why now? Because now is when the soil is ready. Not a moment earlier, not a moment later. The preparation looked like loss because you could not see the roots learning the shape of the deep. But the deep is where storms touch last. I taught you to anchor below the reach of the wind so that when the canopy grows heavy with fruit, you do not snap under the blessing. Do you hear me? Many snap under blessing because they never learned to be still when no one was praising them. But you learned. You learned to raise your hands when nobody was watching. You learned to say, thank you, in rooms that felt cold. You learned to forgive debts that nobody knew about. You learned to give your last minute to someone else's need. You learned not only the math of giving but the melody of generosity. That is why this transaction is not just about numbers, it is about music. It will harmonize things that have been dissonant in your life. Bills and timelines that argued with each other will begin to agree. Responsibilities that felt like opposing seasons will find their rhythm. What you need will arrive without bruising your peace. What you carry will increase without collapsing your rest. This is what I do when I bless. Balance appears where battle used to live. I want you to write down the promises I am placing on your heart right now. Write them as if you are writing an invoice to your future. Do not make them timid. Do not edit them for the comfort of people who never understood you anyway. Write what I am saying, that the account with your name is about to reflect the account I have kept in heaven concerning you. Write that the doors you could not open without compromise will swing wide because favor is the key you finally accepted. Write that enough is no longer the target, purpose is. Write that generosity is not a luxury that waits for abundance, it is a river that creates it. Write that fear cannot audit what I authorize. Write that shame cannot freeze what I release. Write that old debts in your heart, the ones owed to you in apology and respect, will no longer dictate your posture. Write that you will carry resources without apology, build without permission from your fears, and bless without needing applause.